stood out to you about the way the first group in particular worked out there for you?
It was a great overall team win. I thought a lot of guys did a lot of great things. There's obviously some things that we still want to just be better about or be able to sustain, but I thought for the most part that starting group set a tone defensively. I thought that our physicality was a little bit better, our attention to detail and center field or with our reds and our shift activity. We were just way more active, and I think that disruptive is another great word for what we were doing, and then it sparked our offense. Like, the more stops you can get, obviously, the faster that you can play and get out and share the ball, which I think continues to be a huge theme of our preseason, and guys are getting a lot better at that too. So overall, I thought just a really good job of coming out and setting the tone by our starters.
What's the next step you're looking for in this preseason journey, particularly going to Greensboro, where you have such great support for the Swarm and the Hornets in general?
Well, I just want to continue to grow, I think, our depth and like evaluate all of our young players and make sure that they're continuing to get enough game reps, I think, for some really good competition. And we've seen that our first 3 games, and we've gotten it a lot at practice against each other, and there's been really good intensity and competitiveness. But we have a great Memphis team that we get to play, and I think it's a different style of basketball, which is always good to go see something else and practice against it with your different coverages and things that you've added on both sides of the ball. And then on top of it, we get to go to Greensboro. I love the job that obviously our Swarm does to help kind of with our development plans, but now we get to play in front of those fans as well too, which will be good for the Hornets to expand our fan base.
I know we're more than a week away still, but you're back in your building. The finishing touches are going on right now. October 22nd is coming up pretty quick. How excited are you, and what kind of environment are you expecting for opening night here at the Hive?
I'm expecting a rowdy Hive fan base. Actually, I was at the Panthers game yesterday, and I thought the energy in there was lit, and I hope that we can see a lot of the same carryover once basketball season starts too. And I know that they won't disappoint. I thought all year last year we had great fan support, and the belief in the team and the direction that it's going. It's strong, and so I know we'll start the season the same way.
Obviously, you want to be here when you can, but when you've had the chance to kind of head camp preseason throughout the Carolinas, how neat has that been to just showcase this franchise to not just here in Charlotte, but really elsewhere as well?
It's huge for us because I think that we do represent the Carolinas as a whole, and so to be able to go to Charleston, to be able to go to Greensboro, I think that you're just expanding your footprint, and everyone gets to see a little bit of the new flavor, the new identity of the team, I would say, and it's really exciting. I think that we have a really good young group of players that we've now surrounded with great professionals, great competitors, and it's just going to continue to get better and better every day.
With Trey, how is he doing? He came out of the game, obviously, on Saturday against the Mavericks. Is he still okay? How's he doing health-wise?
Yeah, I would say Trey's probably day-to-day. I think he's going to get evaluated here and continue to see what he can do, but I think felt a little soreness, and we'll continue to evaluate him. He'll be a day-to-day participant.
With Colin, what have you seen from him so far in preseason? And how, when he's out there with Melo on the floor, same backcourt, how is that going for you so far? What have you seen from that combination?
I think last game was a good depiction of, Colin's ability to play with a lot of different lineups. He's very versatile. The first 2 games, he's coming off the bench and having to kind of help anchor, I would say, that backup unit, and he did a really good job of it, being our primary ball handler and getting us into different sets and helping us play fast. And then last game was a little bit different, where maybe you're not the primary ball handler now, and you got to be able to space away as Melo and Brandon and Miles are playing pick and roll, and I thought he adapted really well. He's also another guy that can get a piece of the paint. I think that he actually helps Brandon, Miles, and Melo be able to improve their shot quality as well, because, that guy downhill and putting 2 feet in the paint, and then you add the fact that he's, I think, passing it and he's a willing passer, it really helps him. And I think that we've seen the benefits of that for all those guys.
And what about the leadership part of it? How have you seen him being a leader out there amongst the guys so far in preseason?
Yeah, he's not afraid to just communicate. I think number one, everyone sees how hard he works every day, and so he's already leading by example. And then so when he does want to speak up, because he's so passionate and competitive, he's earned their respect. And so he's able to just be very vocal, very upfront with them, and they all know that it's from a place of love, it's from a place of competitive joy, and that they're really responsive. And I think that our whole group, though, is learning how to communicate with one another in a positive way to kind of help us just keep moving in the right direction. So I love what he's done. He's really helped bring, I think, a little bit more intensity to sometimes that starting unit, especially on the defensive end, where he sets a tone on the primary ball handler and allows the other guys, I think, to kind of follow suit.